Hi, my name's Julia Hughes and I run Working Solutions based here in Ludlow in South Shropshire. In this area we've got a tremendous range of talented people. A lot of people who want to work from home and a lot of people who are working from home, either running businesses or starting businesses. Now, we've invited a range of people along to this event today who are all interested in this rapidly growing and developing area. And in particular, my interest is in finding more opportunities for companies who want to find talented people and using freelance contractors as well. And as a recruitment consultancy, I know that this is an area that is of a huge amount of interest to people. We've got some very eminent speakers in this field. We've got Liz and Kate from Enterprise HQ, which is an award-winning centre for home-based entrepreneurs and business people, as well as home workers. It's great that you've been able to come down today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, talk about the work of Enterprise HQ, which is obviously very innovative and groundbreaking. And I was thrilled as well to get an email through today from Faye talking about some award that you've just won.
Yes, that's right. We've just won the West Midlands area for the Enterprising Britain Award, which was an award that was put together by De Boer, which is now the BIS, which is Business Services and Innovation, basically to find the most enterprising area of the country, and we are the most enterprising area of the West Midlands, and we have the judges coming next Wednesday to have a look at us to see whether we can be the national winner, so we're very, very excited about that.
We have two hubs for home-based businesses, one based in Shrewsbury and one based in Coalport, which we've recently opened in April this year. It's been a 3-year journey to this point. Shrewsbury was opened 3 years ago, and we took everything that we learnt from our base of home workers there and applied it for when we opened Coalport as well. So we're very proud now of the 2 venues we have there. And they act as a network for people working at home. They act as a physical base and somewhere that they can come to and escape, firstly, the loneliness that occasionally is associated with working at home, but also just to get a little bit of the water cooler culture. Somebody else to have a quick chat with and share how your day's gone.
As somebody who has started businesses, I think the most difficult thing to do in general terms for anybody is making that decision that they are going to be either self-employed or work away from an office environment.
And a lot of our members, exactly what you're saying, are starting their businesses, and we're calling them the 5 to 9ers. So they're carrying on their day job during the day, and then they're starting their businesses after they go home at night. Yeah. So they're kind of, testing the water, if you like, to see whether it's going to be a successful business for them. And then when they reach that stage that they decide, yes, I can hand my notice in their day job, that's what they're doing. It's up to establishments like us to be there to support them.
It really is the hardest decision to make.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Enterprise HQ model could transfer into a rural area, or do you see it as essentially an urban facility?
Definitely rural. In fact, I think some rural areas would be desperate for a facility such as we've got, and it would bring a real great community feel to. I mean, there's so many home workers working away from rural situations. We've seen one of the speakers tonight. His situation looks very rural to me. So I definitely think that it could benefit, no problem at all.
Yeah. Great. And I know, as I said, I've used the Shrewsbury HQ as a tremendously useful meeting place for people who are rurally based but need to get into a town such as Shrewsbury in order to meet with business clients. So it's ideal from that point of view as well.
Yeah.
We're also going to hear from Paren from DRE Accountants, who's going to talk about the financial aspects of using self-employed contractors and also having employees working from home.
I'm just going to quickly run through these because these are some of the things that HMRC would look at to assess whether they are an employee or a contractor, if you like. Control, so working hours. I can't dictate to my employer what time I go into work and what time I leave. They say, you work 9 to 5 and that's what I've got to do.
One area that would be helpful just to clarify is the fact that people actually can work on an employed basis at the same time as being self-employed.
That's correct. You can have a situation where you are working for an employer and be under a contract for services, and you can also be in a situation where you're working on your own as a self-employed individual, maybe for a different customer or a variety of customers. That's absolutely no problem. But what I would add is that the rules are rather complex on the situation. I would encourage people just to take advice from a tax consultant or an accountant before commencing into an arrangement.
Yes, yes. I mean, presumably now you're seeing quite a lot of people who are working in a flexible way.
Indeed.
So it's an area that you know all the different angles and know how to advise people.
Yes, we could do a review, but it's like I say, it's a very complex area, and each situation is different and is judged on its own merit.
Excellent. Okay. Well, we know where to come.
Indeed. Yeah.
To DRE. Thank you.
Back to the theme of today of home workers, then obviously if the place of work for the employee is their home, then the written particulars of the employment should say that. One of the things that I'll come on to later is that these are very much the minimum provisions, and that employers are very much advised to use that as merely the baseline for contracts, and they should be looking to include many additional potentially useful provisions, and one of them is a mobility clause.
I'm really pleased that you've been able to come down here today, because I think particularly in South Shropshire, we're such a rural area.
Yeah.
I would hope that we will see some kind of increase in opportunities for people to work from home, either on a contract basis or on an employed basis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'd hope so. And like you say, given the remoteness that people will live by definition from the traditional place of work, you perhaps expect more of that in a rural community. Employers shouldn't close their minds to the potential positive aspects of home working. There are numerous benefits to employers, including potentially saving of cost, more efficient use of their own office space and so on. It also can help to retain a workforce, a skilled workforce, because it can suit a lot of people due, say, to family commitments, to spend more time away from the office and work from home. If they would otherwise be lost to the business, if they couldn't be accommodated through home working, then surely it must be in the employer's interest to look at that flexibility rather than have to recruit afresh, incur the costs associated with that, not only the direct recruitment costs, but also the time spent training up individuals and so on.
The last speaker that we're hearing from is Ross Stokes, who is working very successfully from home as an employee. He edits the magazine Self Design and Build.
Julia invited me to come along today just to share my experiences of what it's like to work from home. I've been doing that for the last 10 years in my role as editor of Self Build and Design magazine, which is a national magazine for home builders and renovators, similar to the TV show Grand Designs. So what do I miss about working in an office? Well, the answer is simple. Absolutely nothing. And for anyone that is thinking of biting the bullet, I would say absolutely go for it, because it puts you totally in control of how you spend your day. You know, if you're talking about people who are going out on business on their own, the first thing they say is, I want to be in control of my own destiny. And okay, as a freelancer, you have got that choice. Me, as someone who is employed, I'm almost there. I'm obviously still answerable to a boss, but I am in control of my environment and how I work and what I choose to do for the day.
So Howard, I just thought it might be useful for you to say a few words on the subject of flexible working. The kinds of benefits that employers might find and why they might want to think about it, whereas perhaps they haven't done so before.
Flexible working is a very important aspect for most employees. The ability to be able to make a dental appointment in the middle of an afternoon when nobody else can generally do it at the moment, it is very important. To be able to go home and sort out children, particularly if they're ill, at short notice, that is vital. But if you've got a benefit strategy in your company, you want to provide something just in addition to salary, that can be a helpful part of that package.
Because of course you advise companies, don't you, on how to recruit and retain their best people?
Yes, I find it's important that you find out what it is that that employee wants. Because what you want is the person to stay with you for as long as possible. You don't want to be incurring high costs of recruitment and having disenchantment in the workplace.